The big challenges that I had with my internship were basically trying to wrap my head around the big terms, the digital terms that are often used, the everyday language that everyone around me had easily, and something that I was behind in, because the textbooks that we learn from, they're great, but digital marketing in the real world is completely different. So that took some time to get used to, but I picked up fast, and everyone around me was really helpful. So I've learned a few new terms and techniques, and that's exciting. I think I received the right amount of feedback. I was lucky enough that if my supervisor wasn't around, if she was in a meeting, I was part of the marketing team and I had team members around me, so I could ask them any questions anytime. They would often collaborate on work with me, so I kept getting feedback from people that I considered my friends, which I think is the most comfortable kind of feedback you can get. If I could improve my experience, I think the only thing I'd ask for is maybe more time. This was about 2.5 weeks long, so about 10 weeks, my total experience. I think if I got a little bit more time, maybe 3 months, maybe even 4 months actually, that would just add to my experience. I think that the only thing I experienced is that 10 weeks is a little too short. It takes someone that much time to sort of get adjusted, especially if you're straight out of high school and if you're straight out of college and you've been studying a lot. So if anything else, I think that I would just ask for some more time with the great team that I had around me. Definitely, I think my experience here, the internship, has made me more confident. I feel like I'm able to adjust to a work environment a lot easier now because I've regularly been going to work. Even though it was just 2 days a week, it was a positive experience. It felt good to, be independent in everything from traveling here in the train to being there with, everyone in Sydney who gets up and works in the morning. Just being part of that routine that the entire city goes through, it changes you, it teaches you something new. I also don't live in the city, I live in Western Sydney, so it was a good experience to be in the CBD, in the heart of the city, just walk around, experience the city, experience the office. So I definitely feel like all those new experiences have helped me learn and grow, and I'm a lot less intimidated now to apply for permanent full-time positions. I feel like I have a bit more experience in speaking to senior management, so I do feel like that will contribute positively once I apply for jobs. My future career goals would be to ideally be a junior marketing assistant, because I do not have much personal work experience, but I do want to gain it and create it more. I know that I do like the industry of marketing. This experience here has helped me realize that further. So yes, I think I'd like to start in an entry-level role in marketing and just see myself grow. I think in the start of my internship, just before I started 10 weeks ago, I was really nervous. So I think my confidence level would have been about a 4 or a 5. I wasn't as scared as I think other students might be, because I know I have good communication skills. So I felt like even if I was nervous, I'd be able to communicate effectively. But having said that, starting the internship and actually being there in the first couple of weeks definitely was very scary. Completely different experience. I don't think you can compare it to anything that you've done before as a student, especially if you haven't had much work experience. So yeah, my confidence levels were like a 4 or a 5 when I started. But I did notice as soon as I became friendlier with my colleagues, I got to experience the city, the entire office, just get independent. I could feel my confidence levels rise, and I would say that my confidence is a good 9 now. I think the advice I'd give a brand new intern starting their internship would be to try and be as confident as possible. I know that that's not easy, and everyone starts off at a 4 or a 5, which is normal, but just try to see if they can push that up to at least a 6 or a 7. I think that they shouldn't be negative, because I was very surprised when I came here. I wasn't sure what to expect, but everyone around me was so friendly and so kind and so supportive. I couldn't have imagined how positive the experience would have been. So I feel like people should have a bit more hope and not get pessimistic like I did. I would also say the most important skill to keep in mind before you do this internship is to have an open mind. And one of my teachers told me this, which I'll tell everyone else. I think you should see the internship as an opportunity to learn what you need to know and what you don't need to know. So in terms of the good habits that people have, the bad habits that people have, it's a great learning experience overall, and you never know what you learn about how to deal with people, how to do your job properly, how to enjoy the industry, how to speak the language. There's a lot to learn. So keep your mind open, be positive, and ask a lot of questions, I think, because that's the best way to learn.